Okay, so I wanted to make a short video regarding the responses I'd received to the document I sent out quite a few weeks ago now, and I haven't had a chance to put it all back together and show you what I got back. So what I did was, just to summarise, was I compiled this report, which I did a video about a month or so ago now, and I called this report Evidence of Fraud, Medical Malpractice and Acts of Domestic Terrorism and Breaches of Human Rights. And I sent it to about 200 email addresses, good chunk of those from the Police Federation, who somebody suggested I sent to. And in the end, this report, when I sent it out, was supported by nearly 1,000 people. And since then, I've had probably another 600, 700 people that have sort of added their signature to this. So I think currently it's running about 1,700 signatures. So I sent this out to all of the police chief constables, or rather all of the ones that I got addresses for. Some of those turned out to be incorrect. So I think it went to about sort of 40 police chiefs by email, and it went to various NHS addresses and the Serious Fraud Office and stuff. And then out of the total of about 200 addresses that I sent it to, 18 were undeliverable. I got a read receipt, meaning that this message had been opened by someone. I got 55 of those. I got 32 auto acknowledgements, and then several of those were responded to by somebody. So the human responses that I got basically go like this. So on the 14th of September, I got back a response saying, "Dear Mr. Johnson, thank you for your recent correspondence," and this of course came from NHS Healthcare Improvement Scotland. NHS Healthcare Improvement Scotland is not the appropriate organisation to consider information you have shared. Healthcare Improvement Scotland has a duty to respond to concerns raised by NHS Scotland staff or referred to us by another organisation about the safety and quality of patient care in NHS Scotland. We do not have a remit to investigate concerns from the public, nor do we have a remit to consider concerns of the nature described in your report. I have shared your information with a number of national organisations, including Protect, the National Whistleblowing Service, which is where we would have suggested you contact for further information and advice. And I actually sent the report to them as well. And then I got, for example, a few police constables reporting all their assistants, and this was from West Yorkshire Police. I would like to acknowledge the receipt of your email, and please be advised that no further action is being taken by West Yorkshire Police. You will not receive further correspondence from us concerning this matter. So again, no offer of any corrections, or no offer of any comments really, just saying that they won't talk about it. So there you are, make of that what you will. North Wales Police, they responded, your email and report has been received into the office of the Chief Constable, kind regards. So again, nothing really substantive there, just a pleasant response and the name of the officer given. And then Avon and Somerset Police said, please accept this reply as an acknowledgement that your below email has been received by the office of the Chief Constable, Andy Marsh. And again, no real comments other than that. I got an interesting response from Derbyshire Healthcare NHS Foundation Trust. I sent it to the Director's Secretary, and then I got a response from somebody else who the message was forwarded to. Thank you for the below email to Miss Turner. The email was forwarded to me for response. The content of your email is noted. There will be no further response from the Trust in respect of the below email or further correspondence of a similar or same nature. Trust colleagues will be asked to forward any such emails to me for noting. And I've blanked out the name there, but that was the Legal Services Manager for Derbyshire NHS Healthcare Foundation Trust. Moving on to North Yorkshire Police. This came from Executive Support, and they said, North Yorkshire is my home county really, I grew up in North Yorkshire. Good afternoon, this is by way of an acknowledgement of your below email address to our Chief Constable Lisa Winwood. Your email has been forwarded to Inspector Amy Hunty Hunter for inquiries to be made. So that's quite interesting that they've actually sort of used this word inquiries. I've had no further comeback from them since then, but that's quite a bit more interesting of a response. Devon and Cornwall said, on behalf of Chief Constable Sawyer, the Devon and Cornwall Executive Support Team acknowledge receipt of your correspondence and accompanying paper petition. Unfortunately, Devon and Cornwall Police are unable to progress your concern as the police service with geographic responsibility for the place any potential offences were committed are required to take the lead. I have noted all of the named persons you wish to be investigated in section 6.1 of your paper, and none of which reside or are elected members of Parliament for constituencies within Devon and Cornwall. Therefore, can I respectfully request that you send your correspondence either to the City of London Police or the Metropolitan Police Service. And we'll hear from them a little bit later on. So that again was a good response. And then I blanked out the email of the person responsible here, but this was from Cumbria Police. Good morning, Mr. Johnson. Please accept this acknowledgement of your email dated 13th of September, which was received in the office of the Chief Constable. Despite what is stated in your email, receipt of that email and the attached report should not be seen as evidence that Cumbria Constabulary have been placed on notice and alerted to evidence which proves crimes have been committed, and will continue to be committed if agencies don't intervene to prevent this. So that is interesting that they quoted back a short section of my report which proves that they've at least read part of it, and then they're kind of saying, yeah, we've got it but we didn't get it, almost. So that was an interesting response and rather contradictory. And then from the Care Quality Commission, they wrote, thank you for contacting Care Quality Commission, your unique reference number is that. In response to your correspondence, please be advised I have forwarded your inquiry to our security team for review. Should there be anything else you require assistance with, then please do not hesitate to contact us. So that was a good response. I'm quite happy with that as far as it goes. Healthwatch England was the next one. They are also, I think, part of the CQC anyway, which I didn't realise until this email address came back. Just says, thank you for including us in your distribution list. I note there are several organisations who are better placed to respond to the issues you have raised. You can find out more about our role there. So just a simple response, fair enough. So next one, Metropolitan Police, John P. Simpson. Many thanks for your email and report. This has been allocated to a member of our specialist crime team who will assess the content and then respond to you in greater detail. And of course there's been no response beyond this response here that I'm reading now. South Wales Police, now they were contacted by Richard D. Hall, who's I think read my report. He certainly responded to it. He decided to send it on to the Chief Constable of South Wales Police. Richard lives in South Wales, and they wrote back to Richard, not to me, and said, thank you for your correspondence and your report into the allegations of international offences surrounding the COVID-19 pandemic. You raised many interesting and thought-provoking points. However, I am unable to pinpoint any criminal offences that are specific for South Wales Police to progress. I apologise if this is not the response you wished for, but yet again, thank you for contacting us. So again, that's quite interesting wording that he says, pinpoint any criminal offences that are specific to South Wales Police. So does that mean he does agree that there are criminal offences have been committed, but just that they don't involve people in South Wales? So again, that's kind of interesting. Although, of course, the police are the police, they're not solicitors, but they should be able to recognise, when crimes have been committed. Now, I sort of have a confession to make, because what happened was, when I sent out the original mailing, I made a slight error, and that I had the correct attached report in PDF form, but the link that I sent was to the earlier report I did, which still kind of, highlights certain problem areas where crimes could have been committed. So I sent out another mailing and included the correct link and the same attachment with a corrected message. And this time I got a response back from the National Police Chiefs Council, and they said, thank you for your email correspondence to the National Police Chiefs Council. The NPCC is not a statutory body in the same way that a police force is, and does not share the same powers or responsibilities as a police force. We are therefore unable to investigate any allegations of crime or complaints. And then they sort of refer me to that to say what they do. Well, again, fair enough, but you're now aware of what I said, or should be. And I got another response back from them. At least they noted that they'd already received my earlier response. It wasn't just an auto response. Somebody had read it and referred back to something. So that was, at least something that proved that somebody had actually kind of looked at it in some meaningful way, at least. On to Humberside Police. This was after the second mailing, and again I didn't get one on the first one, but I did get one on the second one. Thank you for contacting Humberside Police. Please accept this email as acknowledgement of your correspondence. All public correspondence is reviewed by the Chief Constable's Staff Office. They will respond where appropriate, or alternatively forward to the most suitable department for their consideration. And then they refer me to COVID-19 guidelines. Okay. Avon and Somerset responded a second time, and they said a different response this time. I note your email is addressed to multiple police forces, and as such I have sought specialist advice from our Force Crime and Incident Registrar regarding the matters you raise. All of the allegations appear to be against organisations or persons based in London, which is not with the Avon and Somerset police area. As such, I have contacted the Metropolitan Police, who informed me your email has been assessed by their specialist crime team, led by Commander Murray. I trust the Metropolitan Police will be in contact with you in due course. At this time, I will therefore not be taking any further action. Quite an interesting response, but again, I've had no contact from Metropolitan Police, which is, fair enough. And then the Serious Fraud Office, there was quite a long delay. I mean, they responded weeks later. I sent it out on about the 13th of September originally, and it came back on the 8th of October. They said, thank you for your emails to the Serious Fraud Office regarding a petition about COVID-19. The SFO has a statutory remit to investigate, where appropriate, prosecute the top tier of cases involving allegations of serious or complex fraud, and including bribery and corruption. It takes on a small number of large economic crime cases that fall within our operational remit. More information can be found there. Should you have any direct information or evidence that you would suggest a criminal offence has been committed, please can you make a report through our online reporting form on the website there at that URL. This team has responsibility for assessing all reports of fraud, bribery and corruption made to the SFO. So I did actually look at that before I sent it to this email address, and I can probably click on it now and see what comes up. I did look at this, but it's quite a complicated thing, and to fit what I wanted to put into this, I didn't really want to put it into this format because it didn't quite fit. Mine was more sort of general fraud and breaking various laws, so I didn't go through this process here, But at least going back to my responses there, the Serious Fraud Office have acknowledged that they received my report, and so they've got the information. Again, it's up to them what they do with it. So really then, that brings us to a close, these responses. And just a couple of sort of not exactly random thoughts to finish off with, but overall, I think that's a reasonable set of responses. It kind of mirrors what I got when I sent a similar kind of report about 9/11 to the police back in 2008, and I told them they should investigate 9/11. I got about the same number of responses, probably slightly fewer this time. Actually, I think I got about 6 last time, and I've probably had about 4 this time. So there you are. Those are the responses. And as another random thought at the end, I was just thinking today how if you want to decide whether there has been a COVID-19 pandemic going on since March, then you can take a trip to your local cemetery and see if it's full up, or see how many new graves there are and stuff, and see if it's like a really large number. And I think you'll find that it isn't, and therefore these people who are describing any kind of pandemic are lying, basically. So thank you for listening and watching, and thanks for your support, and onwards we go, and we'll see where we get to.